Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Asian indices, and starting with the ASX 200 here on the weekly chart. Just to go over two tracks, two pathways for this count. We know that we've got wave 4 in here, and we can count 1 and 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third here, the fourth here, and then the fifth wave here, making a high in place. So it's possible to have that high in place and then looking for 5 waves down here for wave 1 and ABC for wave 2, and then down further. That's possible. The other one that we're looking at, and this is more so with the other Asian markets and the rest of the world as well, is that from wave 4 here, the move up as wave 1 and 2 here, 5 waves up for wave 3, an A wave here, a B wave here, and a C wave here, and then as wave 4, and then moving straight up from this point here. So they're the two main pathways that we need to sort out. So we'll keep that in mind. Our next mission really is this particular leg here, and we're looking for 5 waves down in that particular leg. So in most cases, it does appear that we have 5 waves down, as I've got here. But there are a few cases around the world in this whole move down that we've only got 3 waves down, so we're still looking for this structure. So the fourth wave would be here, all of this would be the third wave, a fourth wave, and a fifth wave down. So in some of the European markets like the DAX, we could already have a high in here, and also with the US markets I need to take another look at that on the close. But yeah, and in this case here, that little line that's going through here, that's the 38.2% retracement level for this, so it can terminate within here. I'll need to have a look at that a little bit closer, and this is what we're going to look at now. So two counts on this particular track here, this pathway. So we've either got 5 waves down and we're done and dusted, or we're going to push up here for wave 4 to around where we are now. There can be another little push up today, and then we finish in that supply zone where that wave 4 is here at 5.9, and then move down for one more move at that point. So in that case, if I just go to the 2-hour chart here to look at this, this is how it looks here. If I just squash this up a little bit. So we've got 1 and 2 here, and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, and wave 4 here, and then wave 5 to the downside. The 38.2% retracement level is where it is now. So the interesting thing here, if I go to maybe just try the hourly chart, yeah, okay. So with the hourly chart here, so from the low here, if it was going to be a wave 4 up here, I've got it labeled an A and a B and a C wave here with 5 waves of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So it still need to see one more move up into the 5.9 area here. Okay, so it's kind of interesting really, because when I look at the cash market though, this move here is quite different from the cash move here. So on the physical market, it looks like this. This is a 5-minute chart here. So in this case here, we can see that we have the first wave up here. I won't go into that, but the first wave 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So it looks like we've already got an impulse wave here, or this could also play out slightly differently. So yeah, there's a little bit I mean, this move down through here on this one here leaves a strong distance between this. It's a nice strong wave here. On this one here, it's this one here. So in this one, we've got sort of overlapping wave structures with this here, but yeah, on the cash market we don't. This low and this high here, they're not overlapping at all. So I've got a bit of a conflict in this particular move to the upside. But if I took this one on its own merit here, then we would be looking for pretty much a move up. Now, the move up here can play out as a little move to here, and then down here in 5 waves, and then up, or it can go straight up here. So you'll just need to be a little bit mindful of that. I mean, from wave 2 as a wave 3 here, the wave 4, it's already pulled back the 38.2% retracement level, and if it does come down here, then it's overlapping this one here. So yeah, so there's a few problems with this, and also too, I could label it as a positive wave to the upside as wave 1 here and wave 2 here, and so on, wave 1 and 2 and 1 and 2. But look, the important thing here is that while the market's above for today, I mean, if today closes strong, there's a likelihood that Monday will close strong as well. So the other point here too is that when we look at the closest largest number, in this case the 5,800, it's a minor level 8. We're supported on that, aren't we? So we would have for the classic trading levels pattern, just to go over this, would have the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then the correction here. Now I don't know if it's going to go like that and then up, but normally we would have that at the top here as such. So I'm thinking that just for sort of at least short-term traders, the 5.8 here, 5,850 as support here. If we get support on that, then this is just the tick chart now. So I'll just bring this into perspective here. So I've got it as wave 1 here and wave 2 and wave 1 and 2 here, and I can count 5 waves up here for wave 3. It does appear that this is 5 waves down here. There is overlapping wave structures here. 2 is 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So, but it can, because of the overlapping wave structures, it can be counted corrective as well. So I need to be a little bit mindful of that. So this from A to B here, this is the 50 and 60% retracement level here. So if the market found support on top of that, which would be the 58.50, then you know you'd be safe to go to the upside. So it would still leave you a move to the of 50 points from here to here, so to speak. If you do buy earlier in here, like on support here, which you could go long on support of top of group 1 here, or taking out the previous high here. So we'd use that one and then that one and then this one here. So that would also be a long trade in here as well. But I suggest yeah, maybe not trading as much on this first initial move here, but looking for it to move a bit higher. But yeah, so that's that. Let's go and have a look at the other markets. So we've been sort of focused on more of Hong Kong than China, but we'll have a look at China today as well. See, in this case here, there's if I just squash this all the way back here, what I'm looking for here, taking from wave 2 here, roughly speaking, down to this one here, the 38.2% retracement level is quite high up here, isn't it? So it's possible that this has got a fair bit of time to go up in here, and if that's the case, that's going to take, well, the Australian markets will go with that as well. So I think that's sort of interesting, and this is the count here for this. So let's just see how this particular one moves along here. So on the 4-hour chart, we can look at, because we're above the level here now, we wouldn't go long below this because the risk is there, even though you think it may turn and so on. And you can do whatever you want, as long as you know what you're doing. That's the main thing. But I just use support and resistance within my setups, that's all. So in this case, once we've got support a high above the level, in this case, and we're looking for the turn, we can go long. So you can move this, if you're long here, you can certainly move the stop up higher here. The trend up here is looking really quite sort of impulsive rather than corrective. So yeah, so that's a good thing. And the 38.2% is up here. So we're looking up at 27,000 for this, and possibly higher to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree up here. That brings us up to 50%, which is not out of the race. The thing here to be mindful of, this is the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree at the 26,000 here. So if you're looking to take profit, part profit, then this would be a place to do it at. And you can also also move back in. But as I normally say as well, is that between number 6 and number 7 here, they're important numbers, of course, but it would be the 2650 here that would hold the most sway within all of this. So this is where you can expect any corrections that occur from 26 to 27. If they're wild, then the 2650 will be the balance point in that, and if you're patient, you'll find support or resistance in that. So the China market, the A50 here, we're also looking for that to to move off as well, but I really used the Hong Kong market because it was sitting on that medium level there. So the 38.2% retracement here in this case really comes in, if I got that right here, yeah, comes back in on the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree here. So in this case, we can look at this as an A wave up here, B wave here, and a C wave up here for this one. So this one could finish a little bit earlier. We haven't called any sort of trades on this one, so I'll just leave that for the time being. I'll let that play out. Japan, okay, same thing in Japan as well. So in the bigger picture here, we've either got wave 3 here, and we've got an A and a B and a C wave here, and we can pretty much go all the way up here for this. The other point here too that we need to be mindful of, well, there's a couple of things here really. So the next move here, wave 3 here, an A and a B and a C here for wave 4, and we can move straight up from that point. The other point here is that if we do have a top in here, then this will be down for 1, back for 2, down for 3, 4, 5. I don't think that's the case, so we can pretty much just pull that to one side here for a moment. But there is another count here that we need to take on board here, and if I can just borrow this here. Having a larger triangle pattern emerging across sideways here, so an A and a B and a C and a D and an E wave here for the wave 4 coming in over this side over here. So we've been aware of the market moving down through here, so I'll just put those in here, and we've been looking for a move up, so we can look for a move higher in this particular instance here. I just want to go into the 4-hour chart here. So this is how I've counted down, and I have to say I don't have a lot of confidence in the way that I counted this down through here. This also can be counted a bit corrective as well here. So if I can just point this out here, it's just something that's been niggling at me, and I know from experience if there's a pattern that's been sort of niggling at me a little bit and I ignore it, then I end up paying for it later. So I'm just going to because if this is a triangle pattern, then this would be an A and a B and a C here. But for the time being, it doesn't matter too much because we'll end up in this box here for this market here. There is if we lined it up with the US markets and so on, then this is the height that it would come to in here. It's just another, but this will also, I mean, if we line this up with the US markets, then we'll be looking for a wave 4 to come back into this space here. Okay, so in this instance here, this appears to be corrective here, so we should see a move up from here, but this is where we've got to be mindful. So, you know, if we look at a classic trading levels pattern where we have the arrival, the reaction, the first high above the level, and then a corrective move across here, this is where we could fail from. So we either move down from here or we will be moving up from here. So taking some profit in this space here would be logical, and allowing this to move out here and then using this here to move back in on this side over here. Okay, back on support here to move up from 22 to 23. So all I'm saying is that with the American markets, it's possible, and the European market, that they can top out. So be mindful after the session today that this could fold back lower from that point. So grab your pie while it's warm. Right, India. So the same thing with India as well. Won't go into the bigger picture, but we can have 5 waves down through here, like we can have with Australia and so on. But if we line it up with America, then the move up through here would be a wave 4 here, and that would move up to the 38.2% retracement level at that point. So we need to be mindful of that space. So we need to our first point of resistance is here, and our second point of resistance is up here further. Okay, so these are the 2 problems that we've got on our way up. I'm not sure what we've done here, so yeah, I mean, I'll give you an exact number here. So I'm a bit sleepy this morning. That's not quite right. So our target to the upside is 10,558 or 10,650, all the way 4 of 1 lesser degree, I guess. So that would definitely be the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree if that was going to be the case. So that's where the problem's going to be. So that's where some profit taking should occur in this space here. Okay, so all right. Okay, that's it. Thanks for tuning in, and yeah, just watch the European market on the open, because if you're going to be staying long in here over the weekend in any of the Asian markets, and the DAX and the FTSE start to move down, then you'll need to hedge your positions that you've got in the Asian markets. Alrighty, cheers.